All right, hello, welcome. This is Daniel Barrett here from AdWords Nerds. How are you? First of all, I feel like I need to start every live video I do by saying I hope you and your family and your friends and your loved ones and your employees and everyone that you work with is happy and safe and healthy, and I want you to stay that way. So please do that. And let's talk marketing. Let's talk business. Let's talk uncertainty. Okay, I was having this conversation earlier with a member of my team. And we were talking with clients. Because right now, AdWords Nerds, we are reaching out to all our clients. We're sort of talking to them behind the scenes. We're walking them through what we see in the market. We're walking them through changes in their marketing plans. We are implementing strategies in order to make sure that our clients have cash flow. They have leads coming in, deals coming in for the next 2 or 3 months. And look, it's very natural to say, we had this conversation behind the scenes. We said, look, how do we know, we're making this recommendation. How do I know that it's in my client's best interest? The AdWords Nerds forever, since we've been a company, has operated under the fiduciary standard. And this is just a company policy. Basically what it means is we're supposed to do what's in our client's best interests, regardless of whether or not it's in our best interests. That's the core of the fiduciary standard. It's why people trust us and stay with us for a long time on average. And we were talking behind the scenes, and what someone who works for me was like, how do I know this is in their best interest? Because obviously, look, like we have a dog in the fight, right? Look, we're a marketing company. It's hard for us to say, like, don't pay your marketing company, right? And people are uncertain. And we have a lot of clients saying, well, look, I'm just going to wait till April. I'm not sure what Trump's going to do. I'm going to wait till April and wait till April. And look, I'm not here to judge anybody's decision making. Look, it's a tough time. You need to do what you think is best for your company. But here's how I answer that question. I look at what I do. There is a wonderful saying in Nassim Taleb, I think it's in Skin in the Game, where he says, if somebody gives you financial advice, you could say to them, I don't care about your advice. Show me what's in your portfolio, right? Don't listen to what people say. Don't listen to what people say. Look at what they do, right? Because when they put their own skin in the game, when they put their own resources at risk, that's how you judge what they really think. So what are we doing behind the scenes at AdWords Nerds? Well, we are spending more. I invested in an entirely new advertising channel. I am trying to ramp up my spend in Facebook. I'm actually launching an entire new campaign in Facebook and putting, about $3,000 a month into it. So we are heavily investing more in our existing marketing and trying new marketing. Now, why am I trying to do that? Do I know what's going to happen in the future? Absolutely not. I have complete uncertainty about what's going to happen in the future. Look, I'm not a virologist. I'm not an epidemiologist. I'm not a social scientist. I just don't know. So when I'm uncertain, what I tend to do is I use a mental model. This is one of the most powerful mental models I've ever heard of. And I use it all the time. And I'll probably do a deep dive on it someday. Probably won't be able to do that right now. But it's called min-max regret. And that stands for minimize your maximum regret. What I do is I think about like all the different scenarios that could happen, right? Just try to brainstorm as many different things as that could happen and say, in which of these do I feel the maximum regret? Because look, like you could, for example, spend all of your income on prepping materials and live in a basement. And when the asteroid strikes the Earth and everybody dies but you, that's cool. But you'd probably feel more regret if you just didn't do anything. Right? There's sort of a difference between the maximum sort of negative outcome and the regret you feel about it. Because if it's a situation you just can't do anything about, it's completely out of your control, or you would have had to sacrifice something that's a really high priority to you in order to get it. It's like, could I save my business by doing a deal with the devil and sacrificing my wife and children? Yeah, maybe if you believe in that, maybe I could, but I'm probably not going to do that. even though it's going to save my business theoretically, right? So I think about what situation do I feel the maximum regret? The maximum regret for me is a situation in which I could have acted but didn't. And because of that, let's say I lose clients or I have to lay my team off. That's the maximum regret situation. So I figure out which situation do I feel, which possibility I feel the maximum regret in, and I don't have to worry about how likely is it. I don't care. I don't care how likely it is. What I care about is like, what's the situation with the maximum regret? Okay, now I'm going to minimize the chances of that happening. So that's min-max regret. That's how I think about uncertainty. You can't guess the probability, which is what everybody tries to do. So just figure out the worst case scenario for you in terms of regret and minimize the chance of that happening. So how do I do that? Well, I think like, okay, so look, the maximum regret for me is I didn't do anything and whatever, I have to lay off my team. That's like the maximal regret situation. So how do I make sure that doesn't happen? Well, I'm going to need clients, I'm going to need revenue coming in. I'm going to need a stable base of operations. So like, how do I do that? I need to fill my pipeline now because we have a sales cycle, just like investors have a deal cycle, right? Sort of amount of time that needs to go by in order to put a deal under contract or to make a sale. You need time in order to go through that process. Well, so do we. So I need to fill my pipeline now so that I have clients 2 or 3 months from now coming in because I don't know what 2 or 3 months is going to look like. Maybe I won't be able to do that then. Right? So we are spending now. Why? Because we have the money now, the costs are down now, the opportunity is now, so we're going after it because that to me is the best way I can minimize the chances of my maximal regret. Now for you, it might be different, but that's what we're doing. So when we tell clients, hey, like, I know it's uncertain, but now's the time to spend on your marketing. I'm not just saying that. It's not just advice. It's what I'm doing. I put my skin in the game and maybe I'm right and maybe I'm wrong. Could be wrong. Could absolutely be wrong, 100%. But it's what I'm putting my money behind, my resources behind. It's how I'm feeding my own family. Right? I don't tell anybody to do anything I don't do in my real life. Anything. That's a strong ethical rule for me. Here's the thing about uncertainty, folks. It's not going to get better. Okay? There's a lot of people thinking like, okay, in April, Trump's going to make a decision and blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, the incentives for the government are not to give you the most certain picture. If Trump came out tomorrow and said, hey, the US is going to be shut down for an entire year, that would be very certain. Very certain. He said, we're doing it. We're all shutting down for a year. That would be very certain. But what would happen to the economy? What would happen to the stock market? What would happen to Trump's stock portfolio, right? It would all go down the tubes, right? So what they're going to do is create more uncertainty. And this is not like a conspiracy theory. I'm saying you look at the incentives, right? If they just keep pushing out, let's say like a week or two at a time, by committing to the minimal amount of certainty, by saying like, hey, we're not gonna show you our plan like a year ahead. We're just gonna show you a little bit ahead. What they're doing is giving themselves flexibility. The minute Trump puts a plan out there, whether you agree with him or not, and by the way, like I'm not a Trump supporter by any means, but it's like, you know, whatever he puts out there is going to be criticized by pretty much everybody, right? Left, right, or whatever, right? The second you put a plan on paper, people have something to pick at and to analyze, and they don't want that. So they're going to do the minimal amount of commitment they need in order to just kind of keep people at bay and sort of manage the situation and leave enough flexibility for them to change plans if they need to. So the uncertainty is not going away in April. Here's the other flip side of this, right? If it sounds like a good idea, it's too late. So look, if you're like, hey, there's a great time to invest in pumpkin patches. And it's not on Halloween when you're like, hey, pumpkin prices are really high. Today is a great day to invest in pumpkin patches. No, it's not. It's too late. It sounded like a good idea because you saw the high prices. The people who had the really good idea had it when prices were low and then sold when prices were high. So if you wait to jump into the market until you're absolutely certain what's going to happen, guess what? So is everybody else. That's what your competition is doing. The reason now is a good time to get out there and market is because costs are low because other people jumped out of the market. So again, I'm not saying like this is the right way. I'm not saying this is the right way. I don't know everything. I'm not 100% certain on anything. What I'm saying is if marketing and lead flow is important to you to maintaining your cash flow, turning it off now screws you in the case of the worst case scenario and even the middle case scenario and probably even the probable case scenario. So you got to think this through, people. You got to think it through. we are all monkeys and we all have emotional brains. And look, mine is more active than most. I'm not saying I'm like some rational guru. I am not. I am not, right? I just yelled at my kid because he peed his pants, brushing his teeth, and I completely lost it, right? And my wife was like, why are you yelling at him? He didn't mean to pee in his pants. And I'm like, I don't know, right? It happens, right? I'm a human being. I make mistakes all the time. But what I do have is a really good set of mental models about this stuff. And if you think about what's the situation in which you're going to experience maximal regret, how do you minimize it? You think about, is your uncertainty about what's going to happen really going to go down in April? I doubt it. And you think about, hey, if the worst case scenario happens, what do you most need in your business? Do you need some cash in the bank, or do you need more deals coming in? Some people it's going to be one, some people it's going to be other. I just implore you, I'm telling you, think about it. Think about it deeply. And let me know if you have any questions. These are hard times, people. I don't think I'm overselling this by saying none of us have really lived through anything like this, and it's hard to know what to do. All I can hope is that I give you some things to think about, and I hope that's valuable to you. And it certainly was to me when people gave me these tools. And I will be talking to you soon. Comment below if you have any questions. If you have any comments, and as always, look, you can talk to my team anytime. AdWordsNerds.com/strategy. AdWordsNerds.com/strategy. You talk to us anytime. We'll take pretty much anybody, get them on the phone, and help them figure out a marketing plan that works for you in your market right now. And if that's what you need, we're here to help. All right, Danny Barrett signing off. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.